My name is Princess Kanyani Maisela Dhlamini, the surviving descendant of Kim Banzi.
Hello and welcome to Obehi Podcast. I'm your host, Obehi A14, and I strongly believe that everyone has a story to share. Now let's get started into this episode.
We are the descendants of Kim Banzi. He has left at Limpopo, where they call the Lepelle. Lepelle is a river, or Oliphant River in Limpopo, where Kim Banzi settled before he went back to Swaziland. So we here in Kingdom of Dhlamini and the Dhlamini of Swaziland Orange, the Kingdom of Eswatini and us share the father.
All right. Thank you for that. Do you want to tell me a bit about how the people in the kingdom live? What do you live? What is sustaining the economy there? Tell me a bit about the culture. People want to connect to you. They want to know you, what you do there. How is life really in the kingdom?
In the kingdom, or the nation of this kingdom, I can't say the having something to survive with, because it's very hard. Let me put it this way. Transvaal, or part of South Africa, belongs to the Dhlamini. So Kim Banzi left it under our name, because we were young, and then those who survived, they couldn't reclaim it. People took our land, and then even the government gave it to the wrong people. So there are the mines around us. We don't know how and where and who authorized it, and they don't hire our people. So we're trying to go to the fields and plow, but people do not have anything to survive. It's very hard, I'm telling you.
Thank you for that. Do you want to tell me about the population of Dhlamini? Like, how many people are you? Is it, I don't know, 1,000 people, 20,000, 1 million? Can you say anything about that?
In 2015, they said that Dhlamini around South Africa are more than 5 million. So if they are around 5 million, they are the offshoot of the Swazi king, or Swazi king named Dhlamini the First. All the Dhlamini in South Africa belong to the Dhlamini the First, who came from Kenya and settled in Limpopo. So we changed the name because we were many. So every household changed the name to their grandfathers, who were also the descendants of Dhlamini. So we are more than 5 million.
Thank you for that. So currently, who is the head of Dhlamini? Who is the head of the kingdom?
Like I said, I'm the surviving descendant of Kim Banzi. So I am the head of Dhlamini nation here in Limpopo. I'm the one who is fighting for their livelihood. I'm the one who's fighting to reclaim the land. I'm the one also who's fighting to reclaim our kingdom.
All right. Thank you for that. And you did say that the people have taken your land. Do you want to tell me who are these people that are taking your land, so at least we can have them to address?
Okay, it was like this. Dhlamini the Fourth, who is our grandfather, Kim Banzi, his father was Kim Moswati the Second. So Kim Moswati the Second, when he succeeded his father, Sobhuza the First, there was many disputes among the royal house, in our culture, or in the black culture. On the 25th of July, 1846, the voordraggers or the Boers came to Oristat and they named the land Oristat Republic. They were the one who came to King Mswati II, asking for the place to stay and then the ground for their animals to graze. So that's when they said, when King Mswati said, okay, if you want the land, you must give the tribute of 107 cattle. So after they did that, so they wrote that they bought the land from the king. That's when they took the transfer from our great grandfather. So now we are trying to get the land.
All right, I'm sort of curious. I think people that are listening to us, they also want to know. Like, okay, you did say that there are about 5 million people
Yes,
that belongs to this kingdom, correct?
yes.
All right. Are these 5 million people scattered all across South Africa, or they are found within the Limpopo region where you are?
Oh, yeah. Um, Dhlamini land consists of 6 provinces, which is Northwest, Limpopo, Gauteng, Orange Free State, KZN, and Mpumalanga. So that means uh, even if other provinces like Western Cape and Eastern Cape and Northern Cape, the Dlamini are all over the country. They are not on one place. They are all over the country.
Now, currently, these people that are taking over the land, or they are trying to take over the land, are they inside the land? What are they doing within Limpopo region? I mean, what are they doing in the land of the Lagmini? Are they like planting, bringing their animal to graze? Are they building houses? What are they actually doing within the territory?
Those people who took our land are those people who were the colonial. They are the white people, the colonial, who were ruling South Africa before. So now they are all over like us, doing whatever they are doing, but they are all over. So now the title deed is there, which was written by the Dlamini, but now we are striving to get it in our hands. So those people are having factories, are having everything, they're having, even controlling our land. They're having farms, which are our farms, and they're doing they're sustaining themselves with it, selling product to us, the owners of the land. We don't have access to it.
Have there been any formal lodging of the complaint, maybe to the South African government, to let them know of the predicament of the local people whose land has been dispossessed by other people? I'm trying to understand what is the situation from that end.
South African government, the present government, been in power since 1994. So from 1994 downwards, the land was held by those who are having our land. So now South Africa is just a government, but they don't have any access to the land like us. Because if you are the owner of the yard and then someone is holding the title deed of the yard, when are you just be a tenant? I can say the South African government is just a tenant. So that's why they don't have power or anything to help us. When we go there to them, we don't get any good result.
So currently, as it stands, who owns the land? Is it the kingdom or the people that are now occupying it? I'm trying to understand what is the legality of occupation here. Are they illegal on the land, or have they gotten authorization to be there?
The owners of the land who are indigenous people, we can't say we own it because we just living on it. While those people who took the land are having the title deed.
No, I didn't get that part clear. I mean, those people that are operating on the land right now, the white South Africans, do they have the certificate to operate on the land Are they there illegally? Did they have any agreement with the local authority? In this case, you are the one representing the people. What
Yes.
is the line of communication between you and them?
There is no line of communication between us and them because even the government itself, let me put it this way, there is mines around us. There are people who called investors. They come here for the first time to talk to people about the social plan. But after they get the authority, they are gone. You'll just see the mine and then the activities. They no longer come back to the people. They don't give people their royalties. That's the way it is.
But how does it work like that? Because now this is the land of the people that have been owning the land sort of dispossessed. Are there sort of compensation for them using the land? When you own the land, okay, another person can also use the land, but there has to be a kind of an agreement. Maybe you rent the land out that at the end of the month, this is what you are going to be paying to the owner of the land. So there is nothing like that. They don't have the certificate to occupy the land. Are they illegal in the land, or are they just using force because maybe they have power so they can do whatever they like, or they don't talk to you? So I don't know if you can clarify that for the people because it's not very clear.
Yes. I can say they are doing it illegally. And then I can again say they will come to the people just to tell them that we are going to operate a mine here, to take the roll call from the people. And then after that, when they start mining, they don't come to people to give them anything because they must start in the royal house. Then the royal house must call the council, the royal council, to give the authority. But we can do that and give the letter to do the mining. But when coming to the compensation or the royalties, they don't give people anything.
Okay. So when you say the authority in this sense, is it like maybe in this kingdom you have only the traditional ruler in this case, which is yourself, or do you also have I don't know, a kind of a republican system of government where you have election, then you have maybe the president or the prime minister or the head of state who is working with you, so that when foreigner come to the land, maybe they need a passport, they need to be registered or things like that. Can you help me understand how that structure work?
Yes. Right now, we are still under the South African government. When you come to us, you must pass the port of South Africa. Then when you come to the Dhlamini Kingdom, you don't need any passport. You just come where we are and talk to us. But first, when you come out of the country, you must enter through South Africa because everything now is still under the South African government.
All right, that
Ideally,
is that is that is clear now. Thank you for that. So it
yes,
means now when they come into the kingdom of the Dhlamini, of course, they are supposed to see you as a royal head of the kingdom.
yes.
So you mean to tell me now that they don't see you before they continue to operate on the land, mining and all those activity? They don't see you before they do that?
They don't see me before they do that. They don't come to the kingdom before they do that. They just go to the Department of Mineral Resources and get the permission for mining. They don't consult with us.
All right. This Department of Mineral is it inside the kingdom or is some other part of the kingdom? Who is heading it? Like, is it that department? Is it responding to the kingdom or responding to the South African government? And where is it located?
It's reporting the to the government of South Africa and is in Limpopo is in Polokwane, and then the head office is in Cape Town, and the other main office is in Pretoria. They are all the departments of South African government.
All right. That's clear too. All right. In a situation like this, say, okay, this is a branch or this is a territory that is controlled by the South African government. If somebody is being denied his or her right, or in this case, a people are being deprived of their right, or they claim that they are being deprived of their right, what are they supposed to do according to the rule that guide this country? Are you supposed to complain to the government? Are you supposed to do anything about it, or you just cannot do anything about it?
We're supposed to report it to the government. But we did do that for 14 years now. The government is not doing anything. So there is offices around here in Polokwane. You go there and report, and then you don't get the response. We went to Pretoria, the same thing happened. So now we were busy with Cape Town. They don't help at all.
Okay, when you go to the government authority, maybe in Cape Town or in Johannesburg, what is your complaint? What do you want them to do for you? And usually, what did they tell you? What is the response from them? Anything that we can hold in our hand?
We tell them that we are the owner of the land. One, here is the proof. Are those signatures when the Boers took the land from our grandfathers? They did make a document. That's number one. We have a title deed number which is from the UN, which was issued in 1937. The government has it, but they just don't want to give it to us. So when you go there and complain about it, to be honest, they don't do anything. They will just tell you that, we'll look at it and then we'll come back to you. And they never do that.
Is it that the South African government does not recognize the people as legitimate owner of the land, or they are not able to intervene to help? What is the situation according to how you see it?
The way I see it is that the South African government or the democratic government took over the power while the land is still in the hands of that former government. So I think the problem is the government itself. They don't have a say as far as the land is concerned, because the Boers or the white men still holding the title deed, and which is written by the Dhlamini, not the government, not the white. The title deed is written by the Dhlamini. So the Dhlamini can't have the access to the title deed. The government can't have the access to the title deed. It is still holding by the colonial government. That's the problem.
Mhm. Okay. So right now, the people of Lamini are asking for something, correct?
Yes.
What are you asking for?
I'm asking for the help to get our land back by getting the title deed, which is there in the United Nations. Our title deed is there. They issued the number, which is 16957. That's the title deed of Transvaal. And Transvaal consists of 6 provinces, which is Limpopo, Northwest, Gauteng, Free State, KZN, and Mpumalanga. So now we are appealing to the international communities to help us to get our title deed so that we can get our land back, so that the indigenous people will be able to stand up for themselves and be able to feed their families.
All right. Thank you for that. That message is driven home. Now, I'm interested in the population again. You say you're about 5 million people across South Africa, no? All of them are not living inside the territory, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, this population, how do they organize themselves in terms of this demand? Are they united in front of the South African government, telling the South African government, we want freedom for our land? Or is it like everybody is fighting for his or her interest?
South African people has been fighting ever since the Boers came to this land. So they were happy when they got the democracy. So now the present government is still doing the same thing the colonial government was doing. So now the people are confused. So if you sometimes when you watch the news, you'll see the people uprising or fighting against the government because after this present government took over the power, there is nothing good or nothing changed from the former government to now. So now is everybody is one man for himself, I guess.
Just so that we can understand, in terms of the way that you approach the government of South Africa for help, is it like you protest, you write a letter, you march there, you call them? How do you usually engage them that you don't get response from them?
I'm a person of peace. I don't want uh, the violence because if you engage to people or communities or the nation to march to the government, you'll find that there are some unruly people inside the march where they will burn, they will kill. I don't like that. Usually, we try to follow the protocol, like the law, uh, like submitting our application to the government so that we mustn't march because when we march, people will turn into violence. They will destroy the same little things which they have. So that's what we're doing. We are approaching the government through their offices.
But is there a kind of sustenance coming from the central government, the South African government in this case, to sustain the people so that their life can be manageably okay under the circumstances, or are you left alone on your own?
Ah, difficult. You know, um, let me go a little bit back. Uh, colonial government to be able to manage the people on the ground, they appointed their own chiefs. So now, those chiefs who have been appointed by the government were the supporters of that government, were not the original chiefs of this land. So now, the problem is the now government, when they took over, instead of going down to the people and say, okay, now that we got the government, so we must get the original owners of the land or the original chiefs or kings to come on board and submit their application so that they can see that, this one is not the right chief or the right king has been put by the government. This one is the right one, has been disposed. Then we should put the rightful people back to their position. The now government didn't do that. So people who have been appointed by the colonial, even if they are not the original chief or the real kings and chiefs, they're still there. So they are getting the salary from the government. So now, many of us, like me, we don't want to get the stipend from the government because we are the original owners of the land. So South African government can't pay me to be a king because the kingship is through the inheritance. So that's the problem. Those who have been put by the government, they get the salary from the government. So now they don't care whether the land belongs to the indigenous people. They don't care whether the people are working or not. As long as they get salary month end, they really don't care. That's the way it is here.
All right. Now, to conclude the conversation, what would be a kind of an appeal, a message you want to leave out there for the people in terms of what you want to change?
I want people to wake up and understand that the land belongs to indigenous people. As long as we are under the government on our own land and let people to rule us, we'll never be people. We'll never be somebody. We'll never be free. We will never be able to take care of our land. That's my appeal for the people to wake up and know that the land belongs to the black people. You know what I like is that, in Africa, we are all related. We are the Ember people. We are from the Niger Congo. We spoke the language of Cameroon, which means all African, regardless, we are one family. So the problem is in South Africa, because of white men, people do not know that they are related to people from Nigeria or people from Ghana or people from Congo. When we see them as foreigners. This is very wrong because that's the mentality planted by the white men so that they will be able to defeat the indigenous people. So now I'm saying, we Africans, we are from the same mother, same father. Now we have to stand up and take what is rightful ours back. That's what I'm appealing about.
Thank you so much for that. I appreciate the conversation, and I believe that the message will be driven home. I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
If you enjoy this podcast, make sure you subscribe so you never miss any of our future episodes. Rate and review Obehi Podcast and share with your friends who might need it. I remain Obehi Ewafo. Thank you so much for listening, and talk to you in the next episode.